I can hardly believe that it's been 4 years since I started my adventure in the Fuga series. What began as a self-published project by developer CyberConnect 2 grew into a full-scale SRPG trilogy that I couldn't imagine not experiencing today. While its furry cast of characters might draw general interest, those who dive in will discover a genuinely emotional narrative of courage and friendship built around a system that allows players to sacrifice a character to overcome boss encounters, or tough situations. And just like the lives of those young furries that we lost, all things must come to an end. For those of us who have stayed with this series through its highs and heartbreaks, there's something truly special here. The studio has created a richly imagined world and a narrative arc that I won't soon forget, but let's unpack why.
Hey!
どうすれば
Similar to the previous entries, Fuga Melodies of Steel 3 begins by ripping your heart out. A prologue scene shows a grim version of the future where everything seems lost. As before, Malt's ability to manipulate time sends the cast back to the beginning. However, this isn't a clean slate. Instead, the group must rely on Mai and each other to find a new path forward without Malt's help, really. Mai steps into the spotlight early on, and while her presence isn't immediately acknowledged as different from Malt's by the rest of the crew, her growth becomes clearer as characters come and go, some leaving permanently through this still harrowing soul canon. Many of the lingering plot threads are resolved, and the branching timeline system plays a major role in how the story delivers these moments. Optional nodes open up side stories and bonding events, often revealing new dimensions to characters we thought we already knew. And while these scenes can technically be skipped, doing so means missing out on the emotional core of the cast. For returning fans, the campaign often reads as a reward, a final thank you packed with deep-cut references and emotional payoffs. The story does escalate into some sci-fi spectacle by the final chapters, but if you've appreciated the true ending of Fuga 2, this will feel like a proper continuation of that conclusion. Mechanically, Fuga 3 builds on systems introduced in earlier games, but similar to the past updates, there are some interesting new features to take into account. The most significant change is the introduction of weakness combos, which rewards players for targeting enemy vulnerabilities. Each successful hit on a weak point increases a combo meter, stacking bonus damage and encouraging frequent character swaps. This system adds a more dynamic tempo to the combat and a rhythm that speeds it up. In the tougher battles, managing combos effectively becomes key to the success. The game also introduces assist attacks, allowing support characters outside the main turret crew to lend a hand. These assists come from allies, both new and returning, including figures that you may have once considered an enemy. Their effects range from healing and buffs to armor breaks and full party boosts. Assist characters recharge quickly, so if you've got it, you should use it. Their inclusion helps maintain fast pacing and provides flexibility when dealing with some of the tougher enemy groups. You also benefit greatly from those unique buffs for a number of turns, such as added defense or speed increases to help in tougher battles. Sadly, the soul cannon is still in play in this game. It remains a devastating choice capable of turning the tide of battle by sacrificing a crew member to instantly destroy a boss. In Fuga 3, the visual presentation of the cannon's activation has been expanded to emphasize the horror of even using it. Even the new Omega Terminal upgrades, which enhance the TARDIS with stronger abilities, do nothing to reduce the emotional cost. If the cannon fires, it hurts, and that's likely by design. Fortunately, the Akasha panel allows for timeline rewinding, giving players the freedom to explore outcomes without locking themselves into a permanent loss. I will say that there's a decent amount of challenge in this game, especially in the boss encounters, so if you lose a character, I encourage you not to be discouraged and press on. Between encounters, intermissions provide a breather and a chance to regroup. This time, they feel a little more integrated into the broader gameplay loop. Character interactions sway depending on events in the main story, making the entire experience in these moments feel a little more connected to the core story. The Omega Terminal is the core of tank customization, letting players unlock new TARDIS skills using collected scrap and rare materials. These skills allow you to utilize some preemptive strikes and healing bursts and even combo boosting abilities, making the AP that you spend during these missions crucial. Power spots have also been added to the maps as optional high-risk locations that reward rare resources and parts. These areas, along with upgraded shop inventories, give route planning a more strategic edge. Shops now sell unique ammo types, blueprints, and buffs that can drastically shift your battle capabilities. However, I'm kind of over the menu-based towns here. Regardless, there are some phantom towns to explore that feature NPC interactions and special items that can upgrade your tank as well, but a little separation of disbelief is needed because how did Mai get the items from that area to the tank? Anyway, I digress. The crew management system also sees some welcome improvements. You can automate some of the tasks like gardening and resource collection while spending more time on relationship building events or upgrading the TARDIS. The balance between downtime and combat is better paced than before, and there's more value in each small decision made during these segments. The Akasha panel, which lets you jump to key points in the timeline, has also been polished up. It clearly marks branching choices, missed scenes, and possible bad endings. So, following the true ending, you can aim for 100% completion or just try to undo a mistake. It's a pretty fluid system. Fuga 3's tone is darker right from the outset. Even by the series standards, the prologue stands out as one of the most shocking sequences in the entire Little Tail Bronx universe. The stakes rise quickly and don't let up, as the cast is pushed into increasingly desperate scenarios. At several points during the campaign, the story explores themes of systemic violence and institutional cruelty, grounding the fantastical world in heavy subject matter. Visually, Fuga 3 holds steady with established aesthetic, character designs remain expressive, and environments offer more variety than in the previous games as there's a lot of backgrounds and CGs here. Combat animations have been smoothed out, and UI elements feel cleaner and more responsive. I don't believe any platform needs to worry about performance, as I played the game on the ROG Ally and it maintained a consistent frame rate with brief load times. I would say that the Switch would probably be the best as it's a handheld, which is perfect to get through some of the fights. The music deserves special mention as well. The score swings between melancholic piano, tense orchestral pieces, and emotional vocal themes, heightening the drama without being overbearing. The game still lacks an English dub, offering English audio, but the voice direction does a strong job of creating the character emotion. Subtitles are readable and well placed, although the amount of text during some longer scenes can cause a little bit of frustration for those not looking for a visual novel experience, I'm guessing. From a difficulty standpoint, Fuga 3 has some accessibility options aside from the combo mechanics and assists, which give players powerful tools to turn battles around. Once you've figured out the right team builds, it's easy to dominate most encounters. Once you're in the second half of the game, difficulty kind of sits in the back of your head as you pay more attention to the narrative progression, but by the end of the game, you would have already replayed sections multiple times and level grinded, and this is just the result of that. Still, I'd say Fuga 3 offers flexible options to address some of the early difficulty, with the option to switch to story mode difficulty from the save menu at any time. More than anything, Fuga Melodies of Steel 3 feels like a game made with deep affection for its world and characters. CyberConnect 2 could have played it safe, but instead they doubled down on storytelling and all-around polish. While not without a little bit of flaws, such as the drop-in challenge or occasional pacing hiccups, the finale sticks the landing in a way that feels satisfying and earned. The trilogy may be over, but the Little Bronx universe has more stories to tell. If this is the last we see of Malt, Mai, and the TARDIS crew, it's a send-off filled with heart, sacrifice, and just enough hope to carry forward. Noisy Pixel is giving Fuga Melodies of Steel 3 a 9 out of 10. Thanks for watching. This video is brought to you by our supporters on Patreon. Noisy Pixel is run by a group of gamers providing independent gaming coverage through news, reviews, previews, and more. Check out our Patreon to help support our continued growth, and subscribe to keep up with all our future content.
Noisy Pixel.